Do that all the time. Oh my goodness. Hello, 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 everyone. I am so excited because we have David here with us today or tonight, wherever you are. And he is going to talk to us about self-love as an entrepreneur. I'm so excited. Hi, David.
Good evening. Good evening, Loretta. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, good. Thanks. Good. Good. Happy Wednesday. Still Wednesday. Well, it's Thursday here now. It's 1 minute past 12.
Wow. That's right.
You okay? Good week?
Oh yeah, my week has been pretty good.
Yeah.
A little hectic, but that's okay. That's
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Keeping it productive.
Absolutely. Hi.
Oh, Celia. Hello,
Celia
Celia.
is like always on here faithfully.
Celia, yes. I don't know. What time is it for Celia? Oh, Celia, it's morning. So it's probably about 9 o'clock Sydney time.
Wow.
9 a.m. Sydney time. So different parts
9
of the world.
a.m., 7 p.m., and 12 midnight.
Yeah, that's what it's all about these days. That's what it's all about. Number one fan. Your number
Oh,
one fan, Loretta. Your number one fan.
our number one fan.
Besides me being your number one fan, yes.
I am so excited because I mean, we've been on this strong kick about self-love, and I feel like it couldn't have come at a better time, for me anyway. And
Yeah.
I'm just excited. I'm excited to hear what you're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah. Self-love. Self-love. Such an important thing. You know, Loretta, I mean, I've been working as a coach for almost 20 years, and even before that, I was interested in psychology and wellness. And I was just thinking that the common thread really is love, self love. That's the common thread when it comes to people recovering from feeling low, feeling let down. And it's all about what we lose in ourself. And, if you look at something like rejection or um, a relationship failing, again, it affects our self love, how we look at ourselves. So I think it's an important topic, really. And for entrepreneurs out there, if you can think about everything that's ever happened in your life has impacted on you as a person, and therefore it's indirectly affecting your business. Because if you're if you're a solopreneur or a single entrepreneur, then it does affect how you perform uh, in terms of client interaction, productivity, time management. All these are fed by how you look at yourself. It's all it's simple but complex because it all feeds into the one place, how we perform daily. You just mentioned that it's obviously important for you at this time. Couldn't it come at a better time? Uh, why did you say that, may I ask?
You know what, David, you always like to put me on the spot. I've noticed that. Always, always. Gosh, if I have to share, okay.
You don't have to, but I'm like, I listen to everything you say.
I've noticed. So, like for me, like I think I just had like one of those moments where I started to look at other people's businesses and just how they were going and how they were running, and I'm like, man, some of them are just really seamless. The process is really smooth, and they appear to have it all together. And looking at me and where I am, it's like, okay, that's where I want to be. But instead of looking at it as something to motivate me, I think I was like comparing, and I'm like, am I ever gonna get there? And then you just go down this spiral hole, this rabbit hole of just comparing yourself to other businesses, and you get stuck almost in a negative mindset for a moment. Instead of using it as fuel, you kind of goes against you. So that's what I experienced. That's why I said that. That's what I experienced.
I always think of maybe hopefully this can help you when you look at I call it the swan effect. When you see a swan that appears to be gliding on the water, but under the
Mm-hmm.
water, its webbed feet are working very, very hard under the water. So we think it's just gliding, but it's working very hard. So that's one thing to remember, that people appear to be on the surface. It's smooth, but there's work to be done under the surface. That's really the first thing, and I learned that years ago. That people deserve to be successful if they work hard and they work smart as well. You can work hard as you like, but if you're not working smart, then you're just going to go round in circles on the roundabout. So that's the first thing. And I guess when you say you've recently looked at, say, other people's business, was that in any particular medium? Was that like social media or in real life? What was that?
Oh no, it was social media.
Mm, the old
Yeah.
culture, the old yeah, that old chestnut. And to be honest with you, uh, I personally I don't spend too much time even just looking at other people's accounts, or in terms of social media, because number one, I'm not interested really, and number two, I'm not got the time to browse. But I think if we get trapped in it, suddenly 10 minutes has passed and 15 minutes has passed, and we're like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? And it's so easy. It is easy, and it's just a habit, Loretta. We have to instill a new habit. So instead of trying to break an old habit, why not instill a new habit on top of it? So literally, it's like putting a CD down on top of another CD, so it'll start to play the new CD. So you're creating a new behavior. So
Mm-hmm.
what I would say is, um, if I had a client who had that problem, I would just say, listen, schedule time for social media, and that's it. So say I'm going to do social media at whatever 9:30 till 9:45 in the morning, and then I'll do it, say, lunchtime for 15 minutes, and I'll do it in the evening. It depends how important social media is to a business, really. Is it hugely important? I know you run the Positive Entrepreneurs Group, which is super successful, and quite a big group. But sometimes, I mean, I run a group. Well, I don't really run it these days, but it's got about 4,000 in there, and that's the Let It Go group. But there are other admins on there, so I don't, do everything. Just that we all share it, in terms of the admin. So maybe that could be of help to you to get other admins. Do you have other admins for the group? I don't know.
Say that one more time, David.
Do you have other admins for the Positive Entrepreneurs group?
I do have one other admin. I actually put like a call to action, like for admins or people who were interested in being an admin for the group. So I've been trying to delegate.
That's super powerful, isn't it? Delegation. It's, of course, we trust ourselves, but we want to trust others to do, I suppose, a good enough job as we can do, and
Absolutely.
that's something that we're going to build up. And there's one thing that I noticed, that people I know who are really successful, they are good at delegating. So just find your inner circle, and then you delegate. So it makes you feel safe, and then you can then trust these people, and then you can relax a bit more. maybe that's hopefully that's helpful to you as well. Really.
The last one, relax a little bit more. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
That's
It's
what
about
stuck out the most.
yeah. It's what it is about. It's about balance, isn't it? And I'm guilty. Several times a year, I get exhausted, and then probably maybe once a year, I do. I know we've done burnout, but I do feel burnt out occasionally. So you're just going to manage your time. And mine is due to going to bed late, lack of sleep, so overworking. But it's just reining it in, having a good night's sleep. Like last night, I knew I was going to be up late tonight, so I went to bed early last night. I went to
You
bed.
planned ahead.
I went to bed super early because I knew I'm going to do a show with Loretta after 12 midnight tomorrow. But it's fine. It's fine as long as we plan and prepare. Yeah, plan and prepare. So that's really important. So I wanted to just to share really three things tonight to really protect yourself. So when we protect ourselves, we're protecting our and valuing ourselves, our self-love, and self-love is about self-care. And so when we prescribe ourselves our self-care, that doesn't linguistically sound brilliant, but when we prescribe ourselves some love at any time of the week, we can protect ourselves and our energy and our time. So I wanted to start with the first thing I was going to start with was stop comparing ourselves against others, which we've already talked about. And one thing that always remember these words. I read it somewhere, or somebody said was that you know um, everyone is on their own journey, and if we're going to look at life as a journey, a parallel journey, we're all on this parallel journey from birth to death in this life. So we are thinking, okay, we this is a journey. This is a journey. So the metaphor I love to use, which I might have said before, is we're in our own vehicle. This is our life, our vehicle. So why do we need to look around? Why do we need to? Because if we look around, incessantly look around, eventually we're going to come off the road, and that's what happens to the best of us, really, in terms of we lose focus, concentration, and then we feel guilty, we feel annoyed with ourselves, frustrated, and half an hour is gone, and all we've done is curse ourselves, and we've all done it. We've all done it, and it's something that we have to just be aware of, because I know you're good enough, Loretta. I know you're smart enough and
Aw.
clever enough, and you're a great businesswoman. But the thing is, it's not you don't think you're good enough. It's just distraction. That's this is basic distraction, really. Even we might know we're good enough, we might just be distracted, and at that moment we look at someone else and they appear to be doing really well, and we say, "How do they do it? What are they doing? Why am I not at that level?" And it's we know that most businesses don't survive. Most businesses don't survive after 5 years. And the thing I would tell any entrepreneur out there is if you want to thrive rather than survive, you want to thrive, you really have to be consistent. So you really have to do it every day and show up every day. And if it's not working for you, think you need to learn a new skill set, you need to know something more, then get help. Just don't. You can't do it yourself. You can't do everything yourself, and that is the truth. I always feel that people think they got to do it all themselves. So get help from someone is good at something that you're not good at. And there's so many resources people can go on these days. Fiverr.com, um, Upwork. There's loads of resources where you can just get somebody to do something for you if need be. That's the first thing I would say. Stop comparing yourself to others. Is this something that you know other people do, Loretta? Do other people do this? Stop comparing themselves
Does
to others?
other people do it?
Hmm.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it really exists in the small business world. Like when you're starting or when you're in that starting phase, a lot of times you're looking at your competition to see, well, what are they offering? How can you compete? Um, and so during that research process, or while you're researching, sometimes you do get caught in the fine details and waste time and things like that. So it's not necessarily someone always looking to compare themselves to the business, but it's like you said, it's distractions. It's in the process of research, you get caught up in the distractions of the minute little details and things, and yeah, just keep going. Stay focused.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, in my business coaching, so I work on as a mind coach and coaching. There's thousands of coaches out there. There are, but there's only one me. So that's the way I look at it. And there's only one of her or him. We're all individuals, but if we don't value ourselves, and look at our strengths. So I know my
Mm.
strength as a coach, and it might not be someone else's strength. They might have strengths I don't have, but you're just going to focus on your strengths. And if you think they've got some weaknesses, for example, before 2020, I'd done very few live Instagrams, live Facebooks, or Zooms. But since March 2020, I've probably done about 300 odd lives.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of lives, but so that you grow your skill set. You just grow your skill set and you become better, more comfortable um, at it. So it's not a case I was born to do this. It was a case of I enjoy doing it now, but it was not something I was intended to do. So anyone out there, you just have to. When I first started, it was like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. You just got to you'll get better. You just got to keep showing up. That's the whole point of this, because your competitors, if you want to look at your competitors in any way, quite a few of them won't show up, and they will disappear. It's unfortunate. There's enough business for everyone, but people will disappear because some are after the quick win, and some just get frustrated, and then some get distracted and go and do something else. This is where just find out where you want to go and just follow that niche. And going on out there, the best thing to do is niche down as well. Just niche. What do they call it? An inch wide and a mile deep. Just niche and go for what you think is that you love. So yeah, stop comparing stuff to others. And the other second point I wanted to make tonight was we can excessively worry about the opinions of others, what other people think, and that's something that I don't know if anybody watching this live or anybody who's going to watch the recording thinks about. It's one of the huge problems with people and entrepreneurs is we worry what other people think, their opinions. What's my neighbor going to think? What's my clients going to think? What are people on social media? We just almost tailor our behavior around what we feel people are going to think. We're having a conversation. Is that something that's ever crossed your mind? What people think?
Um, I would say yeah. I mean, I would be lying if I said no. Yeah, I have thought about, well, what would my family think, or what would potential clients think about certain aspects, or like certain ways or certain things that I've done, like maybe to my website, like how the structure of it is. Like, will they think that it's silly, or that it doesn't make sense, or just smaller things. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure other entrepreneurs kind of deal with the same thing. Like, well, if I'm selling a certain product or service, what would other people think about it? Do they value it?
Mm,
I know that's something that a lot of people really struggle with, especially up and coming entrepreneurs that may still be in the ideal phase. And
mm,
even people who aren't in the ideal phase, they often struggle with the thought of like, is this a valuable service or product? And a lot of that is about what other people think.
mm,
So, and what they think as well, but more so other people.
mm. That's right. And if someone out there is just guessing, just perhaps put a poll on social media just to find out. You could find out really in some market research, if you say on a product or a service. But when it comes to making decisions, big decisions, sometimes we're afraid to make those decisions because we're worried what people will think. Really, uh, I left a career once as an optometrist to become a coach, and people were saying, "What the heck is that? What's a coach? What do you want to do that for?" And really, and I did pay attention, and it's not been really until the last few years, to be honest, Loretta, that I've become more. I trusted my own judgment. I used to worry a lot what people thought, a lot, and these days that's definitely changed. But it was a lot of my life was, oh, what do people think? What are they going to think? Even if I failed an exam in school or college, it would be, what are people going to think? It wasn't that I'd failed. What are they going to think? And I guess that was, are they going to laugh at me? Are they going to judge me? All that. That's because it leads to a deeper place of pain. You're trying to avoid that feeling of being laughed at or pain. So that's that for me personally was what I was trying to avoid. So I think when we are concerned of what other people think, is we're trying to avoid another emotion, a deeper emotion of the feeling of looking stupid, getting it wrong, fear of failure. There's always another emotion around it. So it's not actually what they think; it's actually what does it represent that I'm going to feel after they've judged me. So yeah, it's something that for everyone out there, if you're making big decisions, I always say, yeah, this does a lot of thinking, this feels, but then listen to your gut feeling. That's that's potent. That's so powerful. Listen to your gut feeling. And anyone out there, just ask yourself this question: is there any time in your life have you ever not followed your gut feeling and you wished you had? Instead, you listen to someone else, or you listen to your doubting voice when you really your gut will say no, no, don't do it, you know, um, or do it, but you still didn't follow your gut feeling because you could have been following fear instead, an overthinking mind. Overthinking is a big thing, isn't it? Maybe we should do a whole month on that. Overthinking.
I think that's huge, David. Like, I think quite often we miss out on things. I'm glad you brought that up. We miss out on things because of that whole fear factor,
Mm,
right? And like just moving towards really self doubt, that's huge. That is huge. I mean, everything from not making business decisions to or certain business decisions to, you know, maybe moving or taking an opportunity,
mm,
taking on an opportunity. I think
yeah,
that's huge.
yes. Life decisions, huge life decisions. Marriage, getting divorced, not getting married, all those things. And based on thinking, overthinking, and also how much we trust ourselves, how much we love ourselves. Um, because we're not talking ego here when we're talking love, we're talking respect, trust, we're talking we back ourselves. And I think in modern day society, we've been taught that you can't love yourself. That's big headed or ego. But no, because we're very quick to hate ourselves and criticize ourselves. So we should go the other way, because more we love ourselves, the more we can give love. Because when you're free, love yourself, you feel free, you can love anyone. It's a wonderful feeling. And I know when I didn't love myself or like myself, I found it very hard to accept love and to give it, because
Mm.
you don't even love yourself. It's even more difficult to show it to other people. So that's um, that's so important. And I think the last thing I want to talk about is mistakes. People have the fear of making these mistakes because they don't feel good enough. They don't feel inside that that feeling of love and trust, and we fear making mistakes, and because of that, we may not even take a chance. We may not even raise our hand in the classroom to answer the teacher because we're afraid that people will laugh at us if we get it wrong, or we'll feel stupid. Again, those feelings and emotions. So I would say to entrepreneurs out there, allow yourself to make mistakes. It's okay. It's okay to fail. There's a, there's a saying, fail forward, because at least you're trying. At least you're trying. It's be the one who fails the most, because you will succeed in the end. There's an interesting story. There was this guy. There was a end of your awards in this big company, and true story. And this guy was sitting there, and we were all in their tuxedos and their ball gowns, and they were being awarded for Salesman of the Year. And this award came up for the person who's had the most rejections, the most no's that year. And this guy was sitting at the table with all his friends and family, and they called his name out. The most rejections this year, and they called his name out. I can't remember his name. He went up on stage and accepted the award for the most rejections and no's. And then people were just joking and laughing at him, and he sat down and they said, "Did you win that last year?" He said, "Yeah, I won it last 3 years running." The most rejections. So the night went on, and music, and we were having food, and right towards the end of the night, it was the time to crown the person who's brought in the most sales for the year. Guess who won the award? He won the award. Best Salesman of the Year. Again, for the third year running, Best Salesman of the Year. He won that award. So he went up on stage. They couldn't believe it, but they could believe it. So he had the most rejections and most no's, but he also made the most money for the company. I think it was like insurance company, sales, so cold calling. Which he decided that it doesn't matter if he makes mistakes, if he gets rejections, he's just going to carry on diligently moving forward. He's going to be scared. It's not about being fearless, because fearless doesn't say absence of fear. Fearless means it's there, but I'm going to keep moving forward. So that's the lesson to all of us, really, just to take it on the chin and move on, keep moving on, and allow yourself to make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, I know. I make tons of mistakes, especially being on live. So, I mean, you'll see the video play twice by mistake. It's like so many different mistakes.
I was dancing to him and it was coming up. I was like, yeah, this is good.
But I had to, and you know what? I actually, like, before I even started doing this, I would, I had that process or that mind thought that I had to do everything right, that it had to be perfect. And so I would practice and practice and practice and waste time and miss out on opportunities, speaking opportunities and everything because I was so scared of making a mistake. And then just like the backlash from myself about making a mistake is just the complete opposite of self-care. But
Mm,
yeah, it's like, okay, you just have to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And it's okay if I make a mistake. It's okay if I forget the title of our next topic, like I've done on here before. Like, it's okay
mm,
if the commercial runs,
mm,
again by mistake. Like,
mm.
it's not the end of the world. So,
Absolutely not. It's okay. And pat yourself on the shoulder. It's okay. And also congratulate yourself. It's one thing I do occasionally. I could be on a run in the morning and maybe things didn't go well the day before. It's okay, carry on. I physically do that, tap yourself on the shoulder. And it just reminds me of my father. My father's not here anymore, but he used to sort of, it's okay. And it just reminds me, it's almost like he's with me at that time. So when I tap myself on the shoulder, it's a source of comfort. And sometimes we've got to do that for ourselves because sometimes there's no one around us to do it for ourselves. So yeah, if you ever see me running and tapping myself on the shoulder,
I don't know why.
you know why. You know why. Yeah. So those are the three things. Stop comparing yourself to others. Don't worry about others' opinions, and allow yourself to make mistakes. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
everybody, put those on a post-it note. By the way, put them on a post-it note.
Oh wait, where's mine? They're around here somewhere. I had them like right. The crazy thing is, I had it like right here. I don't know where it ran off somewhere. Doesn't want me to write on it.
Post-it notes.
Don't worry, I've got more.
Yeah. Like if you look on the wall, I just put post-it notes up there. Yeah, 4 post-it notes. Those are acronyms I'm using at the moment. One is ZTO, which is zero tolerance for overthinking. I just keep
Ooh.
like we can talk about that next month if you like. We can do an overthinking segment, but I think acronyms are good. So you can just put 3 letters or 4 letters because you've got to you've got to do this every day. It's like breathing. You've got to do it because the mind is a little fuck. It will just take you and throw you off. So we've just got to feed ourselves. Keep feeding ourselves. It's like mentally giving yourself a clean. We have a shower every day. We have a bath. We clean ourselves. Why not do it to the mind? Just feed it. Feed it. Otherwise, ego could come in and try and mess with us to say, you're not good enough. Don't take that risk, Loretta. Don't take that risk because it might not work out. Where did that voice come from? So we've just got to be wary of that and do the simple things like gratitude every day. Just be grateful that we can walk and talk and be online at midnight 30. Yes. Yeah. Brilliant.
Well,
Well,
David, before we go, don't forget to tell them about tomorrow.
yes. Yes. Everyone, I'm on live on Instagram at 6 a.m. EST. But you can watch the recording. And tomorrow I'll be talking about something called the fit mind model. I'm talking about the fit mind model tomorrow, which is the mind looks at 3 places. It looks at the past all the time, so you're overthinking the past, or you're overthinking the future, or you're in the moment. And in the moment is when you're happy. It's when you are free. So I'll be talking about that tomorrow in the 20-minute segment on Instagram. Yeah, so join me then.
Nice. I'll try to make it. That's pretty early, but
That's all right. Try your best. Otherwise, watch the replay.
yeah, I'll try to be there in person.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
All right. All those people who either are watching live or watching the replay, make sure that you like this video, share this video, subscribe, click that little bell somewhere in the corner somewhere, and again, make sure that you comment, ask questions. Feel free. We are always open to questions. Thank you again, David, for spending 35 minutes with us tonight. Wow. I'm sure, man, 12:35. Get some sleep.
It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure working with you and serving with you. Let's do this. Let's move forward.
Awesome. I'm super excited. Thank you again. Thank you again. And you guys make sure that you tune in because we will be here next Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. EST. And we look forward to having you with us. Make sure you bring your sticky notes, your pen, your popcorn, your tea, your coffee, your wine, whatever you like to drink,
Yes.
and join
Thank
in
you.
on the live. Bye, guys. Bye,
Bye.
David.
Bye bye, Loretta.
Bye.
Thank you.